My hand's stable, I feel able to turn the tables, I could do this. Just keep moving, keep your hands up, stupid. I feel lucid, a new view, and I can see the end, I can see my future, I can view it. It's right there for the taking. Everything I've ever wanted, dreams are just waiting. I just gotta fight for it, willing to die for it, willing to like soreness, I just need to hike for it. I'm standing up cause I've had enough. I won't give up on the champion. As long as I'm breathing, I'm not retreating. I could be bleeding, I'll take a beating and keep on proceeding. I'm not fatiguing, cause once I enter the ring, I'll be undefeated. My hand's stable, I feel able to turn the tables, I could do this. Just keep moving, keep your hands up, stupid. I feel lucid, a new view, and I can see the end, I can see my future, I can view it. It's right there for the taking. Everything I've ever wanted, dreams are just waiting. I just gotta fight for it, willing to die for it, willing to like soreness, I just need to hike for it. I'm standing up cause I've had enough. I won't give up on the champion. As long as I'm breathing, I'm not retreating. I could be bleeding, I'll take a beating and keep on proceeding. I'm not fatiguing. My hand's stable, I feel able to turn the tables, I could do this. Just keep moving, keep your hands up, stupid. I feel lucid, a new view, and I can see the end, I can see my future, I can view it. It's right there for the taking. Everything I've ever wanted, dreams are just waiting. I just gotta fight for it, willing to die for it, willing to like soreness, I just need to hike for it. I'm standing up cause I've had enough. I won't give up on the champion. As long as I'm breathing, I'm not retreating. I could be bleeding, I'll take a beating and keep on proceeding. I'm not fatiguing, cause once I enter the ring, I'll be undefeated. My hand's stable, I feel able to turn the tables, I could do this. Just keep moving.
Hello everybody and welcome to Waylander Gaming. This is Waylander here bringing you yet another game in the MLMA. This time round we have Savage Reborn in the blue up against Metagaskar in the red. But tonight, very special night tonight, we're gonna have two guest casters with us. The very famous Nigel and Irie are going to be taking us through this first of the semi-finals. It's a best of 5, so you know some exciting stuff on the way. But that's enough of me talking. Let me hand you over to the dynamic duo.
Welcome, Irie. Can you hear me? You're a bit disconnected in the beginning. How are you doing?
Can hear you loud and clearly.
All right. What do you think of the band?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm kind of excited. I'm really excited for this game, man. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm very excited to see this lineup. I do like they banned out the Popo already, immediately recognizing the skill player of Bionic. I'm interested to see what he plays, but I'm just generally excited to be casting again the first time for. It's been a long time. I haven't casted in a long time, but it's also very nice to be on the Waylander Gaming channel. First time I've been here since the MSA Cup draw.
Yeah, that was what, like 6 months ago? So
It's a long
we're
time,
kind of
bro.
rusty. So if you guys are watching at home, yeah, if you guys are watching at home, please bear with us. But I do like something that you've mentioned there, Bionic. They've already banned out the PNK. So if you're not South African or if you're not a part of the server and you're seeing a PNK ban, don't be shocked. It's a very targeted ban. But run me through all the other bans, man. We are seeing some of the meta bans being banned out, the Leng as well as the Hayabusa, as well as the Sicilian and the Chip. What do you think about these bans, as well as the Camilla pick?
Yeah, the chip is the only outlier in terms of bans. I do know that Mickey and Bionic are pretty good with those two heroes. So Mickey is pretty good with Camilla and the Halos. So it's a really tough choice to decide on whether what not to ban. It's also always the case when you target ban someone is that you leave some of the quote unquote broken heroes open. Camilla is one of the more popular picks in our server specifically. You hardly get to see many in other server, but our server just loves Camilla. But I do like the Joy pick.
Yeah, I'm sure Rika is excited to see that pick. But I think you've mentioned it. We are seeing a lot of targeted bans. It kind of goes to show that these players really, really know each other. As for me, I don't really know a lot of them, so I'm kind of hoping or hopping on to your trend, hoping to see what you can tell me, their 2 cents, and hopefully we can see very, very good plays. But for now, towards the picks, as you've mentioned, the Carmilla pick partnered in with the Gato Gacha. I guess we kind of know that the Gato is going to go to EXP. Usually, you kind of like to keep it a mystery just to keep the opponents guessing, but this time it's imminent. It's just straight up. We know where everybody's going to go. But the side of Metagaskar, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. What do you think about their bands, man? Or what do you think about their picks, rather? The Yuzong, always a viable pick in the EXP, but we haven't really seen a lot of it, or I personally haven't seen a lot of it, so it will be exciting times to see what it can do, as well as the Matilda. What do you think about these two picks, or rather these picks?
I do like that they confidently picked up with Matilda. It shows that they're really confident in their hero. Yuzong is always comfort pick for like a lot of people in terms of just how good he is in XP. Like I feel like a lot of other heroes have just been dominating in the XP, but it's not too bad. And I feel like maybe they picked him up because they're really comfortable in the hero as opposed to, blocking the meta. But I did see a surprising thing is that no team picked up like very early Zushin ban, or pick rather. I don't think they were really looking to secure that pick. It's a pretty hot pick right now, but so far both teams haven't shown up their mage. I think they're saving up their mage and marksmans for last. So it'll be an interesting matchup to see what those two heroes can be picked up. Brody's a pretty
Yeah,
good
and
ban, but yeah. What do you think they're gonna go for
I was
marksman?
just about to mention, man, what the marksmen, as you've mentioned, they really haven't really picked any, and we are seeing a ban on the Brody. But looking at the composition that the Savage Reborn have at the moment, I think if you're a marksman, you're gonna have a very difficult time, man. Especially with the Gatakacha jumping in front of you, with the joy, dancing in and around you, as well as the Camilla being in your face. So we have three heroes that are in your face constantly. You're gonna need a bit of movement. I think maybe a Purify on a Natan or something. um, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is a viable pick here for both sides? I guess.
The only other interesting thing, I guess, for Savage Reborn is that the signature pick in the purple has been banned out. So I'm very interested to see what else Bionic plays. I mean, he does play other marksmen, but I wouldn't exactly call those marksmen his comfort pick. So, still decent options. The Clint is still open. The Ixie is still open. I've seen him play quite a bit of those heroes. So, they did ban out the Granger and the Brody, which suggests that those heroes might have been going to the gold lane. But I see that he's circling out the carry here. I mean, it is a good pick, but it's just going to be a bit difficult for him to get a bit of range. So he's circling down to see which marksman looks good for him. Yeah, but they're definitely not going to be his comfort marksman that he's picking.
Yeah, but I just wanted to mention we did see Shiro pick up the Xavier here. I don't necessarily know about a mage that lacks mobility and movability, rather, and when going up against a composition like this, what do you think about that pick? I'm going to assume that it's a very comfort pick, so maybe you'll correct me or not, but it's a viable pick sometimes, but other times I think it can be caught out. But oh. We are seeing Larry MB with that signature Lunox. Now, this
Yep,
is the one player that I know, man. This is what I'm getting excited for.
definitely. I'm a bit
But
worried about
for
the
Savage
Xavier.
Reborn, what do you think about their composition?
I'm worried about the Xavier because of the how quick or such how mobile rather the Savage Reborn's lineup is, especially the Joy. You know, it's very difficult for Xavier to. He doesn't have, constant skills that is like laying out on the floor here, but he could work out something in the late game. But early game, he's definitely not going to have fun, especially with the amount of CC that they have. And I see that he's not really picking up the Purifier, so neither team opting for the Purifier is for Bionic because it comes up with his second skill, and is it the first skill rather in the Hanabi. So definitely an interesting matchup, but I'm very worried about the Xavier, but he could prove me wrong in the late game. So if the game makes it to the late game, Xavier's going to have a fun game, but early game definitely not.
I do understand what you mean in terms of like the late game damage, but when you see the amount of dive that Savage Reborn has, man, it's just absolutely crazy. Especially with the Gatukacha, just absolutely dives into the back line. The Joy just swinging back and forth. It's really going to be hard for the Xavier, and that's the only.
Definitely, man. I'm not so sure if you can hear me, but
pick that really are pro picks versus meta or pro picks and some meta here, but it'll be exciting to see what happens. But yeah, which team do you think has the nod in terms of the draft? Which team do you think won the draft?
I think both teams have good draws, but one thing I did mess up was that they have the Matilda, so maybe they're not pretty worried about the Xavier's mobility if they have that disengage with the Matilda right there on their side. But in terms of draft, I favor the Joy's draft mostly because Joy can move around, but the Alpha is such a good pick, man. In terms of just sustaining, if you both just the Warax and sustain items, they might have a good time here. But the Camilla, once again, Camilla Vixana combo, bro, that's a pretty solid combo to have on your team.
Yes, it's a very solid combo to have. That, as we know, we live in South Africa and the network can get very fishy. I'm stuck.
Oh, you're stuck? No, I can hear you. Don't worry.
Forgive me for that. Let me just try to log on.
So far, Joy has reached level 4. It looks like both junglers are looking to gank in the gold lane of the team here. We see that the first blood actually goes down to the Yuzong here. We were questioning the Yuzong earlier, but there's a team fight happening down here in the bot lane. Joy's going in. It's seen that Joy has activated their ult. He's going in straight into the back line. He has his ult, just waiting for the... Oh, unfortunately, he falls down to the Alpha. Alpha is looking to get out of here. And we have Larry NB protecting the Alpha from for the damage. So it's a 1-for-2 trade in terms of kills, but the turtle is coming up. And both teams look to be in a good position to contest that. The Gato is full HP here, so he will be in terms of HP, is a high HP in terms of the health rather. So for the team fight, it looks like both teams are going to circle down and actually contest for that. We see that the Kamalas actually go straight to the base, and then he's going to go to the turtle. Yuzong is winning straight out with 1v1 here. He's dominating his lane. The Gatsukata is not even level 4, so it's a pretty tough matchup for him. The Joy sticks to go into the backline here. Would he be able to get the kill? Unfortunately not. Right now, it looks like he has used up his ult. Yuzong will be forced to go back to the base right now. It looks to be an interesting team fight here. The Alpha is probably going to land this retribution unless he loses his ulti, but he landed. So right now the Camilla is being chased by the Matilda. Matilda is leaving circling Evo. Igor rather, will he be able to get the kill? Yes, Gatsuk jumping in, but no one at home. The fight is already done. Matilda using that disengage, just like I said. I'm very worried about the Alpha. He is alone. No one is here to help him. Joy unfortunately doesn't have enough ult to be contesting in that team fight. Ira, are you back? Irie. I've heard people call you Irie, and I call you Ira. So not so sure which one is the version there.
With a fancy name, everybody has their own pronunciations, man. But I'm glad I'm known. I'm glad I'm known. But run me through with that. Run me through the game and what's been happening. Because what I'm noticing so far, it seems as though Metagaskar are kind of having an advantage. Am I mistaken in that?
No, definitely not. The one key difference is that the XP is just getting dominated. The Yuzong is busy recalling. Yeah, he's got enough. He's just busy winning his lane. They got the first turtle on their side, so definitely the advantage is on the side of Metagaskar in terms of kills, gold, and turtles. But there's a fight going on now.
Yeah, we are going to see that Eternal Guard being brought down, but nothing comes out of it. It seems as though it was just a disengaged tool. But it seems as though both these two teams are rotating to the bot lane, maybe prioritizing the marksmen, trying to get them fed, and trying to transition into that late game rather. But we are seeing a bit of a skirmish here in the mid lane. I think it's Mickey who's brought really, really low. That's a light dart being used up by Larry MB as well as the flicker. Larry MB does get the kill. Oh, Bionic caught in a very bad position is taken down. But in the meantime, there's a skirmish in the top lane with Yuzong in a 2v1. I think Gatikaja used that vengeance, but it is ineffective. Ares is just tanking all of that. He did manage to buy enough time for his team to come through, and we are seeing that Spear of Alpha being used by Zlen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that was a kill for the jungler of Metagaskar.
Definitely. Did I ever mention that Metagaskar is one of my favorite names in terms of names? I like the wordplay. You know, they're from Madagascar and they called Metagaskar. Yuzong, not Yuzong. The Lunox is the solo kill. Lunox is the solo
Yeah.
killing gold thing.
Yeah, man. I told you about that Lunox in the gold lane, man. Very, very underrated hero. Very underrated pick in the gold lane is because, when you have a Lunox, you don't necessarily have that push potential, and you're not really in the best position to kind of control the map in that sense. But it has its uses, and when it is used right, it is absolutely phenomenal. Right now, we are seeing Metagaster trying to set themselves up for a free turtle. I don't really see an avenue or a way that the Savages can kind of contest here, but hey, they're not giving up. Unfortunately, the turtle does go to Metagaskar, but in the meantime, Larry NB does manage to get another solo kill. It's just popping off at the moment, man, on a 3-0 and 1 KDA. Yeah, it is looking bleak for Savage Reborns, man. Even in the top lane.
Definitely. One thing that I wasn't considering was the side lane dominance on the side of Metagaskar. One thing, also another thing is that the Hanabi isn't his comfort pick, and I'm not seeing enough in terms of just ganking. I haven't really seen them gank the gold lane. There is a lot of XP focus, but I don't think the XP mind's dying, But the marksman here is struggling quite a lot, and the lack of engagement.
Oh, we are going to see that circling E being used up, and the Vexana was taken down, but Matilda got in a very bad position, but no engage. In the meantime, that Black Dragon form being used up to engage onto Mickey. Mickey does get taken down, so that is a 2-for-nothing trade, and it seems as though this mid turret is going to go to another solo kill in the bot lane, man. Bionic is absolutely being turned a new one, man, because it's absolutely crazy what's going on down there. But it seems as though Metagaskar are relentless. They are trying to push the second torrent in, but the defense from Savages will be enough to kind of force them away for now.
Definitely. I feel like the game is just in full control on the side of Metagaskar here. Even the Camilla ults, they're not landing. It's just literally landing on no one. I'm very worried about their just the synergy of the team a bit. It seems a bit off. Maybe the Popo ban sort of threw them off, but it looks like Metagaskar is in full control, especially with the side lane dominance, which is a bit too much for them. And again, there still hasn't been a gold lane gank, and I'm very worried about that.
Yeah, man, it's not even the 8th minute, and we're already seeing an 8K gold lead for the side of Metagaskar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, it's just looking bleak, man. They don't have the retreat to contest, even if they wanted to come in for a steal. They don't have the retreat for that. Bionic on a 0-5-0 KDA, man. He's Oprah Winfrey right now. He's basically feeding everybody. But it seems as though Larry NB is the one that gets the share of the lot. I just want us to look at the items just to kind of see the disparity that's happening here, man. Maybe we can just be showing the items just for a second. And look, Lunox already has 2 items. I'm kind of shell shocked. I thought maybe she would have been on her way to her 4th, and maybe on 3 items, but it seems as though that progression is slower. But that dominance is absolutely shown in the items, man. We are seeing 2 Sky Pierces. What do you think about this item? Because after the nerf, I don't really see a lot of people picking it.
I still think it works in some heroes. If your team is winning and you're ahead, it's going to make your lead much, much sweeter. That's what's happening right here, especially with the Lunox.
Yeah, especially with the Lunox godly plays from Larry and B. But it seems as though Savage Reborns have had enough, a bit of retaliation from them. But they got in a very bad position. Oh, that Dawning Light does manage to take down the Vexana. And now the Gato Culture caught in a very bad position. I think he's saying, let me just get one and I'll go down easy. But that is a 3-on-1. And he does go down. Larry and B does manage to get the kill onto that. I think this is a very fed Lunox, man. It's just absolutely crazy. But oh, a torrent dive by Ares does manage to get the kill, but taking too many torrent shots to the face will lead you or will get you a ride back to the base. The dominance shown from Metagaskar at the moment is absolutely stunning. It's absolutely amazing. And the Joy almost trying to steal her own buff, man. It's a disparity to say the least. But I want to hear your opinion. What do you think the Savage Reborn or Savage Reborn has to do to kind of come back? Do you see like an
Oh,
avenue when they can do something to kind of bring them back into the game?
it could work if the Hanabi gets a bit more gold. I see like right now again the Hanabi's doing a lot of you know solo plays that unfortunately he has to farm anyway. So I think maybe if the marksman gets a bit more fit, they might be able to do something in the late game. Right now it looks a bit dire, especially since the Roma doesn't really have any assist. The marksman doesn't have enough gold. It's very, very tough. Unless Madagascar makes several mistakes in a row, it will be a bit difficult for them to throw this game. I feel like I don't know, it looks like nearly 13,000 gold lead. So it's a very, very hard gold lead to be thrown, unless they make several mistakes, like I said. So right now, I feel like if they let the marksman get fed, they could do something, but it's not looking possible.
Oh, Larry and B tried to make a play, but was taken down. We are gonna see that Avatar Guardian. I'm not necessarily sure what that Gatacacha ult is called, but a Spear of Alpha being used up. It does manage to get the kill onto Mickey. B Crown, I think that's his name, does manage to get the return kill onto Ares. So that is a 2-for-1 trade. Those mistakes you were mentioning, maybe these this is the avenue that Savage Reborners need, or this is what they need to kind of turn it around. Especially when you have a Hanabi, man. Those tower defenses become a lot easier, especially seeing how she absolutely tears it when teams are just clumped up in that sense. One thing I wanted to mention before that entire play is that I'm kind of surprised with how Savage Reborners, came into this game. When you look at their composition, it's very Uber-esque or maybe team fight oriented. You know what I mean? They have a lot of ults or a lot of utilities that can be used in team fights, but they're not utilizing it. Right now, we're going to see that light ultimate being used up by Larry and B just to escape off a B crown ultimate. Yeah, what do you think about that Lord, man? I know it kind of came and went, but nothing happening. What do you think about? I think it kind of benefited Savage Reborners more than Metagaskar. Or am I seeing things?
Yeah, I feel like there was a temporary loss of focus on the side of Metagaskar. They are in the lead, but everything can happen in the land of Dawn right here, especially in the late game. You know what you were talking about, the picks. Oh, let me just let you see the fight going on now. Will they be able to get a kill?
Yeah, Larry and B with another tower dive, and he keeps getting killed off of that. But he does manage to trade off, so it is a duel for a Lunox. Again, I'm not saying that's a bad pick, but I don't know if you're Larry, if you're Lunox, if you've been killing it up to this far. I don't know if that's a worthy enough trade, but it is left to be seen. But that Xavier, man, you were talking about it earlier, and I was questioning. I was questioning it, but the damage coming off of Xavier at the moment is just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of late game insurance from the side of Metagaskar, man.
I mean,
I
Savage
just
Reborn is
don't.
like,
Mhm.
what I see is that Savage Reborn just needs to land the Camilla ult when Hanabi is close. Then they'll definitely close the game. And I feel like, those mini mistakes, I feel like they benefit Savage Reborn a lot more. If you have 5 deaths, what's one more going to do? But if on the side of Metagaskar, if they die, that's a lot of gold on the side of Savage Reborn. So I feel like they shouldn't play as risky as they're doing right now, especially the Lunox who's busy dying. But right now, there's a load fight. I wonder if they're going to go in.
They have to go in, man. You cannot continuously let these lords build up, especially with the composition they have and the Yuzhang at the top lane. But unfortunately, they do not, and that is a free lord. But as the spear of Alpha being used up, he does manage to get the kill. But now Joy comes in. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to get anyone. Is killed for his efforts. We are going to see that Gatakachi uses ult just to retreat, but Bionic almost got sniped. But one thing to mention, in that team fight, Metagaskar did manage to get the top torrent, so it is more than just a worthy trade. They do manage to get the Hanabi, and this looks like it's going to be GG. There's no avenue for defense in that. Vexana has absolutely turned a new one, and that is game number 1 for Metagaskar. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Geez, that was a pretty good game. I feel like I looked like I was just doubting. I think, again, I'll say this, on paper, it looks like such a good draft from the side of 7 Reborn. They were like such good compositions, but I feel like their draft was heavily reliant on them playing as a unit and playing as a team and making those sets with the Camilla. And a lot of the times, Camilla was either making the sets for no one or they weren't connecting. I didn't really see a Camilla combo with the Vexana once at this game. And I feel like that played a bit to the disadvantage of their team here. But again, in terms of draft, I really like the side of Savage Reborn's draft. But in terms of execution, I feel like Metagaskar definitely knew what they were doing in this game a lot more. Played more as a unit. So definitely the wall and win.
Yeah, definitely, man. But right now, both teams are going to switch sides. So maybe there will be... I'm assuming they're supposed to switch side. I don't necessarily know
They
how
don't need
these
to
work.
switch that. We can just switch the first and second pick on this side. Don't worry.
Yeah, it kind of goes to show how starving we were for tournament lobby in our server. That the casters don't even know how the tournament lobby works. So if you're watching, laugh along. But let's rejoice of the fact that we do have it, and we have the pleasure of watching these two great teams. Thank you for that 2 cents, man. I kind of wanted to add as well. When you looked at that draft that Savage Reborn had, you kind of think, and the natural assumption is they're gonna play that Uber-esque, let's stick together and let's just rotate, try to suffocate the enemy team. But that rarely happened. In fact, I don't even think it happened once. I don't think there was ever a collection, or there was ever a properly managed team fight from Savage Reborn. So that might be something they have to look at, something they might want to look at, and something they might want to take into the second game. But as we closely heading to the second game, man, what are you hoping happens next?
I'm hoping for the side of Savage Reborn. I feel like they need to focus a lot more on the marksman's lane. He was getting picked off a bit, but I feel like I'm not so sure what I would do. But I guess on the side of Metagaskar, I would also just ban the Joy. See what else they can pull up on their side. But definitely Savage Reborn play more as a team. And if you do pick a team fight, sort of team Ube reliant comp, I feel like it's much, much better for you guys to actually then play as a unit. Communicate a bit more. I'm not so sure if they're on voice chat, but a lot of those plays could have been a lot better executed. They had a pretty good draft, and they're pretty good players. Again, Popo, Cooper, Van is just with no hesitation right there.
Come and join me in my dream world.
Yeah, man, that
they respond with the Lunox.
Go on.
They respond with the Lunox ban. So they said we're gonna ban our marksman, quote unquote. We're gonna ban your marksman / maybe. So definitely, respect bans coming in from both teams here.
Yeah, definitely respect bans. But something I forgot to mention in the last draft that we saw is that Bionic and Larry MB are kind of similar in the fact that they're very reliant on these specific heroes, man. They're very reliant on them, and they're very famous for them. So it'll be kind of interesting what happens. When Larry MB isn't on that Lunox gold, you usually see him on a mage or something similar. But it'll be interesting to see how they adjust to that. But in terms of the draft, I think we're kind of seeing similar bands. We're seeing a very similar draft. This I was just about to say this might lead to maybe an assassin or two being left out of the band scene, but Hayabusa is being taken out.
Looks like Sayu might be left open, but I wonder if anyone on the side of Metagaskar plays that hero, because it's a tough trade. No, it's gone. So what's left right now? In terms of hot picks, they might try to take away the Camilla from Savage Reborn, but the Camilla wasn't doing a lot of things to be worrying that, the pick. It's a hard pick right now. Still, they have a lot of heroes to pick. So from the Zushin is open, but they opt for the Ling. Ling is a pretty good pick too.
Yeah,
Halo,
I was about to mention the link. Hmm?
yeah. Mickey's comfortable in two heroes, and that's the Halos and the Camilla. So he picks up the Halos instead in this game. But again, Zushin is still open. If anyone likes the hero, I feel like the hero is just annoying to face. That's my personal opinion on Zushin. If they have a good mage and good roamer, it's going to be a long game for you, especially with the if he picks up Skypiers and then everything is just lights out. But they opt for the Halos and they might opt. It looks like Charlie's the one that's going to be going. They're going to go for the Kha'Zix. I wouldn't recommend with the Halos, but they end up going for it anyway.
I can hear the disappointment in your voice, man. Can hear the disappointment. But
No,
it
that's
seems as though
mostly in sense like you need a set hero, and Halos isn't really a set hero for the Halo for the Kha'Zix, but maybe it's one of
no,
the pick.
I don't mean the I don't mean the Halos.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean the
what I mean.
Khadija, man. As soon as
Yeah,
that Khadija was mentioned, you're like, yeah. But so I was like, okay, he does not like this pick whatsoever. But man, we live in an execution type of server. It doesn't really matter with the draft, but the execution is what counts the most. But here's your Zushin, as you were hyping her up. Hopefully, she'll have a very good debut in this match. One thing I wanted to say about her is that she's not really good at first against very mobile type of composition. She's very good against these. I don't want to say stationary, but these guys that's like back and forth or back and front. I don't really know the terminology for it, but yeah, back and forth type of composition. She's really good into that. But mobility wise, you don't really want to pick her because you can't really, aim consistently, or maybe it's just a skill issue from my part. But that is something I've noticed about her. We'll see how Shiro plays it though. But as you've mentioned, the high lows can be a very devastating pick in the right hands and can be detrimental if it is not utilized properly. But right now, we are seeing Savage Reborn swim around that alpha. Yeah, do you think they should go for it? Because it was
um,
causing them a lot of damage in the last game.
I think they'll pick it thinking maybe Alpha might be picked up. Alpha does a pretty good job against the Halos, but again, I feel like they need something that can work well with the Kadita in this lineup because I don't see Kadita bursting the Akai or the Ling or the Zushin because they easily disengage. So I feel like they need something to set up those Charlie's hero. I like the hero, but something that goes well with it. It looks like Dark Souls might actually be going XP with the Alpha. Yeah, not bad if they end up going Akai XP, but there's still options. I feel like what could have worked was maybe saving the Khadija for last pick so that they get a bit comfortable and you surprise it up there. But I don't know. You never know. You never know. Last game I jumped to the Xavier and he did pretty well, so we might be seeing that with the Khadija. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, maybe our own remix of a Caster Curse. If we say he'll play bad, definitely believe he'll have an MVP type of performance. But I think you've mentioned it, man. The Kadita, I don't really see who, because it's more of like I don't want to say pick off, but you just need those kind of squishies where you can just absolutely take down. But right now we are seeing Bionic. I'm really surprised that he hasn't picked a Natan and he is swimming around that cloud, which are two other heroes that I know him for. I was really surprised that he did not pick the Natan because that usually was his like second favorite type of hero. But right now we are seeing that the Bionic hasn't purchased that M6 skin.
But luckily you can use the Prime
Doesn't
skin here.
have it.
So you can use four skins. You can use
Doesn't
it. Yeah,
have
you
it
can use
yet.
it. Okay.
Maybe that's why he's losing. Maybe that's why he's losing. You need that cloud skin. You need that cloud skin. But yeah, right now we are gonna see that Leslie. Okay, this is where my disappointment comes in. You are gonna see that Leslie being picked up. She does have a place. She can be rather viable, but the avenue to make her viable is something that I don't know if Savage Reborners can kind of turn it up to. But for Metagaskar, they are swimming around that Khalid, that one man at the moment. What do you think is a viable pick for them in terms of the EXP? They do need like a front laner type because they already have like a set maker in the Akai, a pseudo set maker. Okay, I guess he went for a bit of a water drink, but we are gonna see that Clint being teased up here, and it is picked Clint with a very recent buff that apparently makes him viable, but me, unfortunately, I have not seen it to good effect. But hopefully that is me, and Larry and B can make something of it. But we are going to see that Natan being picked up last. Um, in terms of a direct jungler versus jungler composition, or rather versus, I do kind of favor the Ling a bit, maybe because of the mobility and the avenues that you can play around. But that Nolan pick is also a very good pick as well. I thought maybe the Alpha would go into the jungle, but they opt for otherwise. But these, ladies and gentlemen, is the drafts that we have for game number 2. If there's any comment section, I'm not necessarily sure how the live stream works, but if there's a comment section below, just type below which draft you like, and tell us what you who you would have went for rather. But Miguel, you there, buddy? Okay, I don't think he is, so I will be your solo caster for this game. It's game number 2 of Savage Reborn versus Metagaskar. Very interesting one. Both these two teams starting on the right hand side. A bit of help from both these two, or a bit of help from their teams. And I'm not necessarily sure about the jungle clear, which one is better. I think maybe Noland is traditionally known for him to be, or rather is traditionally known to have an advantage in that, but maybe you guys will correct me. Seems as though both their rotations are kind of tatted, or rather focused onto ganking the gold lane. But in the meantime, in the mid, we are seeing a bit of an aggression. That Zushin coming in handy versus those solitary heroes, as I have mentioned, but that mana just draws out very, very, very quickly. But it's still rather useful at zoning them out, making sure that the mage doesn't necessarily not have enough XP to kind of roam around early. And I think the way they're playing it is kind of useful, and it is very, very effective. But right now we're seeing Larry and B got in a very bad position. Does use that flicker to kind of avoid the Natan, but we are seeing that that fracture being used up to secure the first blood. So that is it. First blood secured towards the Natan. But in the bot lane, we are going to see a 1v1. It seems as though Savage Reborners are coming back, man. A 2-0 on the scoreboard already, and it isn't even the second minute. They've learned from their last games, and I think they're trying to make something out of here. But right now, we're going to see Bionic out in a very bad position as the lane engages onto him. They might use that flicker, almost escaped, but unfortunately, a 3v1, something that Leslie cannot handle, and he does go down for it. But in the meantime, we are seeing Metagaskar kind of rotate towards this turtle. Darkai still doesn't have level 4, so it'll be kind of interesting seeing how this solo fight kind of goes. A lot, or rather a bit of aggression in the mid lane, as I've spoken of earlier on. And it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. But it seems as though Noland will opt to go for his buff. I don't know if that'll give him a level advantage, but it'll be interesting to see. But that fracture, as well as the Spear of Alpha being used up here to kind of zone the Archive, they did manage to get a kill onto Shiro. And this is looking likely there's going to be a free turtle. And it is. Although Len, I'm just going to ignore the XA. Len tried to steal it, but unfortunately he's
silent. Yeah. What I'll do is, I'll join you until Nature comes back.
Thanks, man. It's always nice to have a companion in these games. Kind of commentating alone, it can get lonely. But tell me, what are your thoughts, man? What you've seen so far? How do you think this game is gonna pan out?
Well,
it's kind of looking similar to the first game, but like opposite.
Yeah. Savage Reborn, bringing in some of their comfort picks in there, like we know B Crown so far in the MLMA has been favoring a lot of the assassin jungles. Nolan, as you were saying very rightly earlier, but you forget about that. There's the engagement.
Yeah, a bit of a skirmish. Kai did manage to get a kill as well as utilize that heavy spin to kind of zone out the enemies. But we are going to see that ultimate snipe being used up by Leslie, trying to get Larry and B. But luckily, the Clint does manage to escape. But Mickey is rather low, and it is these type of situations that the link kind of thrives in as a clean up crew. That Yeah, it shows that I haven't been casting for long. But Ling uses his ultimate, doesn't manage to get a kill, and does get that kill back. So I think that advantage kind of swung towards Madagascar there, man. I don't know what you think about that team fight.
Yeah, with picking up those kills there, and as you said, Ling, once he's delayed into it, it's what you want. He wants to be a late entrant into a team fight, avoid any potential CC. Though that Tempest of Blades, so the name you were searching for, uh, is very often. Oh, saying that, yeah, it looks like there was a pick off here in the hot lane. It's just action all across the map, and this is all just before the next major objective, which is the turtle coming up, as we can see.
Yeah, man, it kind of reminds you of like WWE. His body's flying everywhere. You look one side and somebody's going down. But even in the top lane, Lyrium B being brought relatively low by Bionic. I'm kind of surprised that the Leslie is winning out. But right now, we're going to see a Tempest of Blaze being used up. But oh, that heavy spin being used in just the perfect time there to kind of zone them out. The leg. The leg does manage to get the turtle in there, but oh, Clint comes in with the damage, but unfortunately is taken down. So it is a 2-for-2 in terms of the kill wise, but Metagaskar does manage to get the turtle in that team fight.
Yeah, it just afforded them that little bit of extra gold lead that we can see. But as things go, in terms of the draft itself, it's Ling who is the late game hero for the side of Metagaskar. But with Savage Reborn, they have the Leslie there, who is. I mean, Clint obviously can do a lot of damage in the late game, but it's just not as much as a Leslie can. Once it gets to the late game, once she gets an item, is when she really becomes viable. But there's the engagement. Spear of Alpha comes out, taking down the
Yeah.
Thermos.
Yeah, 2v1, and they wanted to make sure they get that kill by all means, and get it they did. I'm kind of wondering, are they going to leave that turret, or they're just going to let it pass by? But no, they decide to defend it. But man, this is a very front to back game, and I know, when you're playing these kind of assassins, there is a lot of mobility, there is a lot of back and forth, but it's map wide. I don't want to say worldwide, but it's map wide. Everywhere and anywhere is bodies flying, and it's people dropping. But the advantage for now does fall onto, in terms of gold wise, rather, the advantage does fall onto Metagaskar. What do you think about that, man? Well, what do you think? Because I think in terms of kill wise, it's been relatively even.
Yeah, the gameplay more or less is even right now. It's just that extra turtle supplying that 400 gold difference that we can see. But apart from that, the game is very, very even. But there's engagement onto the Kadita. She's forced to use the ultimate to get away. But there's a Yuzong just diving into the backline. However, Larry NB does pick up the kill. Nolan goes in with the fracture, managing to do a ton of damage onto the Clint, but Clint still safe.
Yeah, man, that was a wonderful play from Charlie, man. Just using that rough ways as a defensive mechanism. I don't know. It seems as though Nigga was kind of criticizing that pick, but maybe Savage Reborn had it in mind that she's just like a mobile target, man. Just try to target her, try to kill her. She just escapes, and then you're left without any ult or something. Maybe that was the game plan. But right now, we are going to see it's all being contested, and a heavy spin by the Yakai just used in time, but unfortunately against the wrong people. As Crown Dish managed to get the turtle in response as well. B Crown and the rest of Savage Reborn just absolutely tearing Metagaskar into pieces. They do manage to get 3 kills on their way to getting a blue buff as well as a mid lane torrent. It seems likely. That was wonderfully played by Savage Reborn. I think this is kind of the response that we were hoping for, man, just to make this series kind of interesting.
Yeah. As things stand, Savage Reborn caught in no man's land, gets taken down by the Leslie.
Yeah, if this was a classic game, they would be spamming marksman feeding, man. I was just wondering, what are you supposed to do against that, man? What are you supposed to do when three Bohemians are on your face? But right now, we are gonna see a bit of a skirmish in the bot lane, and this is a 2v1, and that Alpha holding his own. But unfortunately, that Ling damage is coming in clutch. A shutdown for the Ling, and it is worthy to take notice that Ling hasn't died yet, man. Oh, okay. Right now we are seeing a bit of a skirmish that Rika forced to use that heavy spin, but unfortunately it was not enough as he is taken down as Larry NB follows him to the base. But right now we are gonna see a 2-for-2 in terms of kill wise. Um, but in the meantime, or in the while that skirmish happened, Ling, or rather was it Damus? I'm not sure. Did manage to take down the bot lane. So maybe there's an advantage in that. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. And Ling just using that mobility of his, moving all the way from the bot lane to the top lane in a blink of an eye, taking down the Leslie. So the game's still fairly balanced at this moment in time. It's just the major turret advantage is going to the side of Savage Reborn, and now all they need to do is just keep their waves sort of pushed in so that they can actually just take a easy Lord. Though with the Ling on the field, no Lord I think is actually going to be an easy Lord.
I was just about to add, I've never heard of such a thing as an easy Lord. Especially when you have an Akai as well, man. His utility in terms of these team fights and, being able to push or pin down the enemy jungler can be very, very useful in these team fights. But we are going to see a bit of a Lord dance. It's been a while since we've seen these, man. A bit of skirmish around the Lord, especially now since the Lord hurts a lot, which kind of goes to tell you how long it's been since I've been playing Mobile Legends. But we are going to see that glorious pathway being used up here. But oh my days, I don't know if that Lord damage, but Hylos is taking relatively low. That heavy spin Rika used into the back line, but unfortunately he was taken down in the meantime. Killing spree for the Ling. Meanwhile, B Crown does manage to get the Lord. Damu's caught in no man's land. I think he wanted to get a kill there, but unfortunately for him, he was taken down. But Bionic dealing a decent amount of damage as that Tempest of Blaze is used up and he is taken down. I'm not. Was that a shutdown? I'm not necessarily sure. I don't think it was a shutdown.
No.
Yeah, that was. Who do you think won that, man? Because
well, the Lord did go to the side.
Like, who actually got the Lord?
It was
actually
Nolan who managed to get the retry off just ahead of the Ling, as Ling tried to engage in there, but had to disengage. Did pick up a kill. Is now on, I think, a mega kill streak. Yeah, as we can see, 4 kills on the board, 4-0 and 4 for the Ling. So the jungler for the side of Metagaskar getting his farm up, which I know we know Ling is a late game hero. He shines quite a bit there. Oh, but the fracture coming out. Beautiful play there from B Crown.
Yeah, beautiful play. But we are going to see a heavy spin onto, I think, Mickey, if I'm not mistaken, and he is taken down. He did use that glorious pathway, but unfortunately, there's nothing glorious about being taken down. But we are going to see a 1v1 in the Ling and the Alpha. But that was a wonderfully timed spear of Alpha from Dark Darts. But oh my days, a monster kill for B Crown as he absolutely decimates that Akai. One thing I wanted to mention in the draft phase, but nerves kind of kick in before I mentioned it, is that the Kadita didn't actually go for Petrify, man. Is this something new that I'm missing, or do you actually agree with this, or is it something that you were surprised in terms of seeing?
Yeah. I was expecting to see the Petrify. It's just I mean, Kadita is there not really to clear waves or anything else. So she does have a decent wave clear, not anything spectacular. But she's there to get the pick-off kills into the backline. And Petrify just ensures that that's the case.
Yeah, but maybe Charlie has a different strategy in mind. But we are going to see that heavy spin being used up. One thing I am seeing from this Kai, he's not very reluctant. He's not shy to use that heavy spin whatsoever. And they did manage to get Miki off of that. But a double kill for Larry and B as Bionic is taken down. And that Kadita, very slippery. I don't know if he will survive this, especially with the Ling hunting and calling. But we are going to see that spear of Alpha being used up, Thamus being taken down, and Riki seeming like the second target. But fortunately for him, it did manage to escape. We did see a fracture from the Nolan onto the Ling. What do you think about the damage there, man? Because I don't know if I expected it to be a lot more,
Well,
or maybe I'm just driving
just
off a different expectation.
well, right now, if you just check his item pulls, we'll see. He does have the Blade of Heptases and the Blade of Despair in there, as well as the Hunter's Strike and Malefic Roar. So he should be dishing out quite a bit of damage. I suppose he just landed the fracture, not the full combination that you expect from a Link, from a Nolan, because if he does land the full combo, he does burst down quite a bit. But there's a pick-off here onto
But we
Zushin.
are seeing, yeah, and a heavy spin being used by Ricky again towards Mickey. Seems as though that's always his target. One thing we did notice is that the Link did manage to take down a turret in that meantime. I'm kind of surprised that Savage Reborn did not focus the Lord when they saw the Link was up there, and this kind of put them at a disadvantage, especially seeing how Crown is really really low. I don't know if he'll be in range to kind of retreat that, and he isn't. He is taking down a shutdown for Ares as well as a double kill as he is turning up there. But Bionic does respond with a kill of his own. This Leslie is hitting like a truck, a flicker in the basic attack right now just to secure that kill. Some may say it's worth it, some may say it's not. Whatever the case, he did manage to get the kill, and that does allow or give Savage Reborn breathing space to kind of take care of this Lord. But yeah, what do you think about that team fight?
Yeah, that's again another pick-off. It's like the moment you start talking, somebody dies. If you think about this, like this, it's 39 kills in 15 and a half minutes.
Yeah, but you don't see this in like MCs or MPL. I don't know. Maybe this is more interesting. I'm joking, but either way, this is very interesting. It's exciting to see. But we are gonna see that. Oh my days, that Leslie damage, bro. It's just half HP off of one basic attack. I'm kind of interested in seeing what's her build, just to see what's hurting so much. She hasn't even built a BOD, so you know she's going to hurt, man. You know she's going to hurt. But yeah, that late game damage that you were referring to, or was it you? Or was it?
Yeah, I was talking.
Yeah, it was you. It's kind of showing up.
Yeah. It's getting to that moment in time where Savage Reborn, as we can see, still have the mid lane turret standing. So that's going to give them a bit of map pressure. They do, at this moment in time, want to potentially force a fight. You can see the rough waves coming out once more from the Kadita. There's a heavy spin once again onto Hylos. The guy just hates the Hylos. It's just, Mickey, I'm sorry. You picked Hylos, you must die.
Yeah, it's personal. It's personal. I think somebody owes somebody money. I don't know. Let's check their bank accounts after this. But but it's very interesting. But I don't know if it's worth it because when you use everything that you have on the high lows, it kind of leaves you with no skills, with no ultimates to kind of go on to everybody else. But maybe they see it as a different point. I don't know. But it will be interesting to see how this pans out. One thing I have noticed is that when you have a Ling, you kind of want to utilize that map pressure. Just kind of split push like an uncontrollable amount of times, just to kind of unbalance the team, just to make sure that the enemies are not clunked up. That maybe there's one or two people retreating or recalling just so they can clear the base. You see, like he's doing now. So I expected him to do this a lot more, but. Just to kind of give them that pressure around the Lord, because one person has to recall, right?
Yeah, as you can see, it's the Kadita with the recall. But the engagement once more onto the Hylos, with the looks of it. Oh, but Kadita with the shutdown kill on the Ling on the top lane. Their beautiful play. Heavy spin coming out. They're trying to create the space so that, but it's like no retry available. What are you going to do? Kadita has the double kill there on the top lane.
Kadita with the double kill, bro. That's absolutely insane. They sent the right person. I
Yeah.
guess I was kind of questioning it, but they sent the right person there, man. And that is a 4 for nothing as well, or rather a 4 for 2, as well as a Lord. I am besides myself to say that Savage Reborn has won that cleanly. They won that undoubtedly, and that does give them enough pressure to kind of take down this mid lane. I am kind of interested in seeing how they play this. Will they kind of force it to kind of end, or will they try to look for something else? But oh, that Tempest of Blaze being used up. Lane does manage to get the kill, maybe slow down Savage Reborn just a bit, but oh, we're seeing a bit of fancy play from him. But I do think this will allow Savage Reborners to get maybe the torrents, to get all the torrents, and that is something I think they should be looking to do.
Yeah, it's just the bot lane turret. Will Nolan be able to? He should. I'm not okay. The Clint coming. Oh, the fracture comes out. What a pick off there from B Crown on the Nolan.
Yeah, man, the pickoff is insane, and the Kadita again with another kill onto this man. He's not having the best of game, but this Kadita. I was questioning, I think I said it in the in the draft. It's a draft curse, man. You question a pick, and all of a sudden it's MVP plays. Right now they are looking to end the templates of plays being used up here, but it seems as though it won't be enough. Rough waves as well, and Savage Reborn managed to take the series into a 1-all. That was wonderfully played, man. I am lost for words. But what are your 2 cents, man, from what you've witnessed?
Yeah, I was actually I know he's got the MVP up on the screen, Dark Thoughts, on the alpha. I was extremely impressed with his alpha gameplay. He got that War Axe online early, and continuously used the minions in the jungle and the waves to keep the stacks up. And once he had the stacks up, he was landing a Spear of Alpha after Spear of Alpha. Did a ton of damage, as you can see. 20% of the damage in the game. I mean, just surpassed by the Leslie only. A lot of the damage.
Yeah.
Both the
He was contributing a lot, man.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily something you expect a lot from an alpha, which kind of shows you how involved he was. Also, the damage taken considerably in terms of like normal play, he took the most because the Ilos and the Archive were having a battle of their own, man. They were just in a world of their own. What I am kind of interested in taking notice of is Ares, man. Ares as well as Dark Dots, the EXP. I'm wondering how last game went. Who had the advantage? I think Ares had the advantage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. The Yuzong was having a
I
splendid
imagine
time.
what happened just now. You see that whole game we just had? I was casting it, but I wasn't connected to Discord. No.
Okay. Okay. So now we have Nigel back. Then I can say goodbye for now.
How many minutes was it taking alone? Oh my goodness, guys! At least it got the spirit out of me. At least I can cast properly now. Okay, it got the rust off. But I spent about 20 minutes talking alone. There's so much hype going on. So anyways, who got disconnected? Were you connected, Aaron?
Yeah, I was connected the whole time. You just magically disappeared, man. You just magically
I was
disappeared.
like, Aaron disappeared. I just continued.
That is a me thing to do, man. That is a me thing.
That's all the question. I didn't even look at Discord. I was like, nah, let me focus on the game here. So, oh my soul, man. Oh, now my voice is tight. That's why I sound like this, Aaron. Because I was just talking, I was shouting. I was like, Link is doing so much work. Oh. Anyways, let's get straight back into the action, guys. Anyways, for those who anyways, are you guys ready?
Man, I'm sure you were talking. I'm sure you were. This kind of happened to me as well.
Oh goodness,
this happened to me as well.
Happened to you before, right? I don't know. Missed this part of casting. I'll be starting.
I was part of the panel. A bit of history into our server. There was once a game. I was part of the panel, and I was supposed to give an introduction. And I was feeling like that football commentator Jerry or something like that.
Yeah.
I was in the moment, man. I was
Oh,
giving off
jeez.
quotable. I was
I
like,
don't even know why
the
it's closed.
epitome of this. And then 2 minutes later, I'm like, yo, bro, you weren't even connected. I was
Hey,
like,
bro. And you thought, I was like, damn, that was so good. Yeah, it's fine. We'll get started the game now. Whew. At least, wait, so was Wayland the one casting?
yeah.
Uh, hey, I mean,
Yeah.
anyway, it's fine.
It's a good thing we have
As long as
history, man.
we
It's
got
a
to
good
see
thing
the
we have
actors.
history.
We're back. We're back. Next time, I'll actually check if my Discord is connected. So, yeah, anyways, welcome back, everyone. Did you get to finish the last game, Myra?
I was there the whole game.
But did you? Yeah. So you saw the results. What were your thoughts? My thoughts it was a pretty good game to the point that my voice is gone. I might need to go take a drink before after this. Yeah, but they're banning the
Oh
left
man,
this time around. Les the end popo.
I need
Yeah.
some water, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think the Leslie ban is kind of a wasted ban. But when you can't handle a hero, you have to ban it out. But
I think
that does leave. Oh, okay, I was about to say that does leave the PNK. Why are we seeing so many marksman bans?
I think like they're targeting
But
Bionic. I
still,
feel like Bionic is the most active player in
yeah,
terms of rank. Like he's just always ranking. Maybe they know a lot more stuff about him than they do of the other
this is
people. I
what
know.
Larry
Yeah.
MP and Bionic are the targets, man. Are the targets the whole
They don't
time.
care
I'm like,
about
what's
meta. They
going
don't
on,
care
you
about
guys?
Hayabusa and all these kind of
They don't
heroes.
care.
No. They care about the two marksman players. So
Yeah, the
yeah,
two marksman players. Man. So if you guys meet them in rank, at least now you know the quotables. So at least now you know who to ban and who not. But then again, how would you know? Let's hope that you're sniping. But nevertheless, we are going to see that alpha ban. This does leave the Hayabusa as well as the Ling. But Savage Reborners go with the Ling. I'm hoping to see an assassin versus assassin, but based on a pure opinion, who do you think is better, Hayabusa or Ling?
I feel like I have less fun facing a Hayabusa when he outs than a Ling because then you can at least see what's going on. Hayabusa, if you get straight into the background, there's nothing else you can do. Ling still has to land and then do shing shing shing. Hayabusa, no, outs and especially if you're a Sky player, then it's just GG for you. So in terms of just,
Yeah.
but I don't. So I feel like they're not worried about that. But I'd rather face a Ling than a Hayabusa, personally speaking.
Yeah, same man. I'm not gonna lie, same guy.
Uh,
Because I remember a game just a few days back when I came back to Mobile Legends. I tried to play Cyclops because of the buff, and oh my days, I I felt like nobody's business. But that is something I'm kind of interested in. We did see a Cyclops ban. Oh, sorry, not Cyclops ban. A Cyclops buff, relatively recent. So I'm kind of surprised we're not even seeing a whiff of the hero. Uh, Maybe it's just not that good. I don't know. Do you guys have a different opinion?
I feel like Cyclops is good in the late game, but there isn't enough time for you to get your items to the point that you can actually just start spamming your ult. They really buffed his ult like a CD. You can just ult anytime the range is bigger and all that kind of things. But the time and space to do all those Cyclops things isn't there yet because they can just invade you. I saw the other day someone picked Granger and they just for 5 minutes invaded his buff. So it's either in the mid lane, which is it's not the best mage to have, or in the jungle. It's not the
Yep.
best jungle to have either. But you can still do some of those pocket picks with the Cyclops. In classic though, not ranked, but classic definitely, because they won't be expecting it.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
the most handsome one-eyed person in the game. He has to have some love. But for now, let's just look at the picks that they have here. The Thumb was being reprised again, as well as Mickey picking up the Camilla. I'm not sure if this is the second pick. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, making
I think this
the
is a,
coming in the very first game, but it didn't go well. But they think now, since they picked up his halos, that's what they did this time around. Do you see what's going on the side of Metagaskar though? So they banned all the picks that they've picked, and they've also picked their heroes, which is the halos. So I'm not. That's actually left
oh,
Minky with Camilla again. Yeah. So they took down the halos.
one thing I actually didn't notice is the the Khalid pick, and one thing I didn't notice is the Khalid pick. I do think Khalid is really, really underrated. I remember there was a time he did He was really, really popular, then had a slight nerf, and all of a sudden, nobody really likes him. I'm kind of surprised at that. So it'll be interesting to see how Khalid performs. But I'm kind of surprised at Metagaskar's draft, man. You had the option to pick the Hayabusa instead of the Khalid. Khalid was never really going to be banned, as well as the Vexana. They're really not going to be banned. So you just, you want to go for those picks that are very in your face, those picks that are gonna be banned immediately. But because of that, we are gonna see the Granger here, man. Maybe maybe a few TikTok plays for the highlights. We never know. But for now, it seems as though Savage Reborns are gonna finish off their draft with a low Yi and an Aerodol. It seems like an Aerodol. So what do you think about Savage Reborn's draft?
I like that they have a lot more. The only thing that's like sticking out for me is probably the Tamus, but everything else seems solid. Those are picks. I'm very interested to see how the Gushin plays, like in terms of just generally a Gushin players in tournament matches. Yeah, Gushin has his moments, and I wonder if his moment will be in this game. That's what because he really has to get straight into there to get the kill. But they have they have the Lohi, they have the Tamus, they have the Irito, Ling, a lot of heroes who can just easily disengage, but you never know. No, it's about the player sometimes, right? But in terms of lineups, I will go again towards the start of Metagaskar this time, mostly because they have the heroes and less team fight reliant sort of heroes. Like they can make a lot of things happen on the side lanes. But you saw in the last game, the Doctors was just simply dominating the XP lane with the Alpha, so you never know, eh?
Yeah, you really never know. But me personally, I'm gonna go for Savage Reborn just because I'm a huge fan of having heroes that can give you that map pressure, heroes that can move around, and Loi is really, really good at that. You can just use that diversion, or I forgot the name of the ultimate, but you can just use that ultimate to just teleport into maybe a bush next to the jungler while he's clearing his jungle, just to kind of get off a pick from there. I think the avenue for surprises and the avenue for what they could do is a lot more. So I do like the Loi as well as the Ling. It does give you a lot of map pressure, but as you said, the personnel matters, man. The personnel matters, and we'll have to wait and see how, or to rather, to what effect it has in this game. Seems as though both teams are going to rotate towards their marksmen as always, man.
Definitely. I did like, but one thing I liked about the last game is that Savage Reborn ganked their marksman a lot more than in the previous game. If they can continue to do that in this game, they'll have a much more fun game. Because in the last game, Larry and B didn't have enough time to snowball as they did on the Lunox day. So I feel like the games, as much as the marksman's under be the soul carries, getting the marksman underfed would definitely play against your teammate.
Yeah, especially in the late game, it seems as though both these two teams are setting themselves up for a bit of a, I don't want to say a midterm fight, but seems as though they will both disengage with more priorities to be had elsewhere. One thing one thing you mentioned is that last game there was a lot of gangs towards Larry and B, and I think that is the kind of like the avenue that Savage Reborn have to take, because even in that Luna game, he was playing his main and he was very dominant in the early game. He can be reckless, man. He can be reckless. You can catch him a few times, and if you do, you might come up with the goods. But for now, we are going to see both these two teams set themselves up for a bit of a turtle dance, man. OG, you still there? Yeah.
I'm still there.
Let's hope he's not casting again.
I'm back.
Let's
I'm
hope
back.
he's
I'm
not
back.
casting. Oh,
I'm back.
okay.
This time around, I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure it's
You
connected.
checked. Wait, was it actually disconnected?
No. I just switched to my laptop because is the audio the same?
A bit distorted, but my lag is kind of making me question if it's on my side. But right now, we're gonna see Mickey be caught in a very bad position. We're gonna see a lot of ultimates being committed. But right now, a Tempest of Blades on that Ling. Oh my days, catching more than just a few members as Did he? Yeah, okay, seems as though Sean Combs has left prison to kind of dawn us in the land of dawn. Right now, we are going to see that that Gushin with a bit of an invade here. I don't know what happened. It seems as though he did not manage to get that blue buff. That did give the Brody enough time to take a few shots off that turret. So just keep an eye out for Brody, man. I think he's going to be on a lot sooner than uh, a lot. Um, a lot earlier rather than most Brodies come online. But that is something to take notice of. But Link being zoned out here by Ares, well, them being caught in a very bad position. Ares in the middle, and that Curse of Blood being used up, as well as that glorious pathway. It does help them disengage into that, but fortunately, it buys Ling enough time to come back into the team fight. I'm getting stuck here. I'm sorry for some of the kills that I am not noticing. Bit of lag, but we carry on. It seems as though the first total, finally, the first total is going to be taken down, and it is going to the side of Metagaskar.
Yeah, Metagaskar is actually going to be in a good position to take down the gold lane turret, which will be the first turret of the game, yeah? The mage gone down.
The rage gone down is a very big understatement, but seeing that B Crown use that Tempest of Blaze as a disengage tool, I have to kind of eat my words, man. I have to kind of eat my words. I did say that Ling as well as the Lui kind of give you a bit of map pressure, but the Khalid is just roaming, man. He's just everywhere, involved in every milk and cranny of the game. So it is something to take notice of. But Larry and B, he did have the advantage. He did get a solo kill, if I'm not mistaken, off Bionic. So it will be something to take notice of, man. That Brody does get online and he does hurt once he gets his items up. But right now we're going to see Mickey getting caught in a very bad position. Larry MB does manage to get the kill. That Curse of Blood was used up, but no follow up as it is not fully utilized. It seems as though that is going to be a 1-for-nothing trade towards the side of a Metagaskar.
Yep. So right now, what we're seeing is that they're in a good position to get down the gold lane turret here because
Larry MB might use the
Yep.
use the torn apart Mary, and he does manage to get the kill off of that. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think you've heard my voice enough. Let's give Nigel a chance to kind of do the play-by-play. I'm sure he was hoping to do it last game, but unfortunately,
You know, I spoke for 30 minutes alone. People don't know that. They don't know my life, my struggle. Anyways, back into the huh? I did a full game.
There's a saying you never walk alone, man. There's a saying you never walk alone. But all right,
I was
now we are
walking
going to see
alone.
that
I
Dom
was
was caught
like,
in a very bad position. But
yeah,
oh, shit.
there
My
you go.
bad for the language.
Anyways, next total fight coming in on the side of both teams. Ling is up, is alive here right now. He's waiting from the bush, waiting to try to get the kill. But unfortunately, his teammates aren't catching what he's doing. But right now, Mickey's going straight to the back line, but he won't be able to get anyone here. He does still have his ult ready. He does alter two people. He will be able to get the other kill. They do manage to take down the Brody. Brody is down. The Ling is trying to get something into the lifestyle, but unfortunately, he ends up dying here. Halos goes straight into the back line. Gushin with a double kill manages to take down two members. Three members are actually down on the side of Savage Reborn. They'll be able to take down the Lord, Turtle rather, and again, pretty good position for them to be in.
Yeah, very good position for them to be in. I'm kind of surprised he still had his retry. Some of us sticky fingers, so we just press it the moment that we see a team fight. But fortunately, for him, he still had it, and he has the skills to get a kill in the bot lane, man. But as we just analyze what just happened there, we are going to see Metagaskar with a bit of a 3K gold lead, just kind of swaying the advantage towards this side. I think that is represented in the kills. They are dominating not only the map, but also kill pressure, as well as map pressure and the gold. So the avenues for Metagaskar at the moment are absolutely shining. It seems as though they're going to force the advantage, look for these invades, or look for something to be found here. But, Gujin doesn't manage to get a kill there, man. We're seeing very, very fast hands. Very, very fast hands.
Yeah, Gushin did a pretty good job taking down the enemy mage here. Charlie's not having a fun game in terms of just similar to the last game, but he did end up picking up into the late game. They managed to get a few of very crucial kills there. So right now, it looks like Metagaskar is in a pretty good position to end the game. I do like how evenly matched these teams are. It's not like really one-sided as the other matches leading up to this might have been, but both teams putting up a pretty good team fight. We do see another team fight coming in here right before the first load of the game is going to be up. But it looks like Diddy and Larry NB. Is it Diddy or DD? Anyway, Diddy is going to be looked down to help his marksman take down this lane here. But Brody is waiting for that. He might be able to get the
Yeah, with the ton of pop memory, I don't know. He might be able to, might be, might not, and he does. The ton of pop memory is enough to take him down, but he is punished for it, and that's the aggression. That's the aggressiveness of a Larry MB that I was mentioning. But it seems as though Diddy caught in a very bad position. He is taken down as well. In the meantime, in the top lane, rather, Bionic, was it Bionic was taken down? No, I could be mistaken.
Yeah, it was Bionic. Bionic went down. Gushin actually in a pretty good position to take down the Lord here. Both marksmen won't be alive for it, but the Thamus will look to try to do something to put his big team back into the team fight. But Gushin says no. Unfortunately, the Lord will be going down on the side of Metagaskar, which will probably put them in the lead of this matchup right here. Ling is going to look to take down he's not his blue buff, but since Metagaskar doesn't have their marksman, they look down to get a bit more farm right before Larry NB comes to the rescue, and they can take down the Lord.
Charlie managed to get the orange buff there, man. There is something to take notice of. I'm kind of hoping that they use that diversion play to kind of get into the back line or maybe even steal a load or two. But it seems as though that play does not materialize. It seems as though it does not materialize, and Madagascar does manage to get the first load in the 9th minute. As we look at the items, or as we were about to look at the items, I'm sure the cameraman must hate me right now. But as we look at the items, we are going to see, very few things we might want to take notice of, especially with the Brody, with the Malefic gun. I hear people say this is a very good item. I'm still not sold on it yet, but you guys can give me your 2 cents. But a lot of decent items that both teams have, and I'm kind of interested in seeing how Savage Reborn tackle this base defense.
Savage Reborn do have the Erythor to do something here, but unfortunately, they would need Mickey to do something. But Mickey, he is good with the Camilla, but in the first game it didn't go as well. Again, they went for a Louis instead of the Vexana in this game, so they can do something. I would like to see a bit more diversion plays, get straight into the backline, pick them off. A lot of smart plays will be the key to victory on the side of Savage Reborn here. But they can still do something. It is a pretty big bold lead, but they can do something with it.
Yeah, something is a bit of an understatement. I am actually kind of surprised that no inhibitor torrents were taken down, man. I was about to. I don't know if it's me, but who else misses the passive on the torrents where it just like takes them down? I don't know if that's what we had because the game is very confusing. Sometimes I'm seeing gold.
No, in rank where you could get, up until the 12th minute, get the gold crab on it, the gold plate rather on it, but they took it away. It's gone. I was having so much fun in rank. That was one of the reasons why I was actually ranking, is that they were switching it up every time. But anyways, let's get back to the action. Right now, we see that Brody's going to go to the top lane. There is a team fight coming in here. It looks like the Camilla is setting up something, but right now he hasn't had the best time. It is a good time to maybe pick up the South encouraged to buy maybe conceal and try to do something. The Louis definitely needs to get straight into the backline and at least try to pick off some members of Metagaskar here. I haven't seen him really make.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I actually forgot that they have a Camilla. I don't want to say he's invisible, but that's how ineffective this pick is, and it's unfortunate. But one thing I do want to say is that the unsung hero in this game is kind of like Shiro, man. I don't know if you've noticed, but the amount of space that the Vexana is allowing Metagaskar to have is absolutely insane. Let alone the sets that he's enabling the team to have. So the effectiveness of Shiro right now is absolutely insane, and that is something I think you have to take notice of. But there's a bit of a team fight here.
Team fight going on. Link straight into the backline. Brody forced to use his art. Tempest of Blades used. So many art used. Khalid going straight into the backline. Unfortunately, and not able to get the kills. Double kill coming in from the side of Gushin. He does have the opportunity to go straight into here, but unfortunately, he's using to save a lot of his skills here. Brody's going to look to get a bit of health and go straight for the Lord. It is a pretty good 5 for the side of Metagaskar, looking to take the game back into their favor here. Irithos going to try to do something, try to create a lot more map pressure, but it looks like Karilili is circling down. Would he be able to get the kill? That's the question. Brody is going to be straight to the base. Irithos versus Dark Thoughts is going to go help out his XP laner here, but unfortunately, it's going to be 2v1 on the side of Savage Reborn. They will be forced to recall here. It looks like it's going to bait them, try to get them to stay. Actually, they took the bait.
They stayed way too long.
And right now, it looks like they're going to go down for that, and it might give Savage Reborn an actually pretty good engage, coming in Breed Crown, turning up. Oh, there we go. That's exactly what they needed to do, and they're back into the game just like that. That's it, back into the game. Well, Gushin came back. Gushin played back and turned the game back around. But again, Mickey, I feel like in the next game, if there is one, he needs to pick out something a bit different. Because Camilla's again a team fight hero. They did pretty well on the Halos. Gushin goes straight into the background. Would he be able to get the kill? Unfortunately, he doesn't. He goes down, shutdown kill on the side of the Ling. Manages to take down the Gushin, and that is a lot of gold on their side. Will they be able to make a comeback? Is the real question. Yeah, Mickey goes straight into the Brody. He uses his ult. Brody forced to use his. Will he be able to get the kill? Nope. He actually manages to get that kill in the 2v1. So again, Mickey ends up falling, and Brody's in a pretty good position to go back straight to the base and heal up. And that brings back the game here. Only one turret on the side of just rather the base is rift on the side of Savage Reborn in a very, very tough position. I would pick my fights very, very wisely here. Brody needs to go heal up a bit. So they are in a pretty good position, but they need to disengage a lot and wait for Metagaskar to make some of those non-meta mistakes.
Non-meta mistakes.
Yes, Metagaskar is doing a pretty good job right now. Slowing the game down.
Mistakes that are very meta. Certain mistakes are very meta. But yeah, man. I think they have to wait. They have to bite out their time. Basically, they do have the Irithel, who is predominantly a very good late game heroes, but they no longer have any inhibitor to run. So that may be something to look out for. A bit of a combo from Gushin there. Unfortunately, it did not land. But I do think if the Camilla does manage to land maybe one Curse of Blood, we might see their fortunes kind of turn, man. We might see their fortunes kind of turn, especially with how Metagaskar approaching this. They kind of divided by, oh my days, that Gushin damage.
The background, Brody goes in, but he might be able to get the kill here. He does have Rose Gold Meteor, but Rose Gold Meteor unfortunately is not enough to protect him. Lin goes straight to the background. Camilla lands the ult on no one. It might look to be a wipeout on the side of Savage Reborn. They end up dying here. It is one member, but unfortunately not enough damage on the side of Halos. Gushin straight again into the background, but not enough damage again. Finally goes down. Ling is shutdown kill. It looks like it might be GG here. It's just the Camilla and Thamos versus the world. Halo's actually trying to end the game himself. Says, hey, let me take matters into my own hands. Gushin with so much damage. Will he be able to get the kill? Manages to get the kill. It looks like it's GG's. Well played on the side of Metagaskar. Recalling on that. Well done to both teams. Again, we're back into the action. So back and forth. And that's what we like to see. It actually is going to be a best of 5. I was like, at some point, I was like, why is it a best of 5? You know? But I feel like Waylander and Sean realized, actually, hey, there's so much action here. There's so much things going on right here that it actually deserves a best of 5. Both teams evenly matched. So, will we be able to see another, sell-off win on the side of Metagaskar? Or will Savage Reborn show us, just like they did in the previous game, that they actually still got some life in them? What do you think? What does Savage Reborn need to do again to take the game back?
I think one thing they have to do is not pick the Camilla again. It's unfortunate that it's not performing as it's known to do in our server traditionally. It's a very, very good pick, especially with how congested and how often our good teams like to stick together. So it's a very good pick against them. I do like the Link pick, man. I just don't think I do like the Link pick. Hopefully they can get it again. But to move away from that, I think they mage and EXP. I think for Savage Reborn to get something out of here, the mage and EXP they have to have something viable, man, because that seems to be the cornerstone of how they build their team. So whether or not they can turn that around, it will be interesting to see. But as you've mentioned, this is very interesting. This is very exciting. One thing I wanted to say was, like, Larry and P was kind of playing what's that game, House Escapes or Roomscape or something like that, the whole game. He's just surviving off of 1 HP. That was very
Definitely.
funny to see,
And
man.
there wasn't enough.
That was
I mean,
very
that's the type of game you build Skype PSA. Like, I've seen this marksman escape like 10 times. I'm going to build Skype
like
PSA.
10 times,
Then put
man.
on it.
And
So,
even me,
definitely.
who's like an avid, I like to criticize Skypiece these days. Um, ever since I lost on Clint on it, I hate that item. I don't know why, but ever since I lost on Clint, I'm not a big fan of that item. But even I have to admit, a Skypiece here or there might have been useful because it was
Um,
literally 1 HP. Yeah, you literally could see through Brody's entire HP bar, so that will be something to look out for. Um, Also, Brody was banned throughout the entirety of the series so far, so it'll be kind of interesting if he gets banned out again, and if it follows the traditional ban bans that we've seen in this game. Are we gonna see a 10-man marksman banned out? I don't
you
know.
know,
Are we
but
gonna?
one thing I've been seeing, a good thing that Metagaskar has been doing is focusing a lot on the marksman side. We're just waiting for Bcron. I think you might be under the impression that this was a best of three, maybe. So he might still be coming back. And also another thing is Bcron is from Madagascar. I wonder how he feels going against his fellow Madagascan brothers here. So uh, he's the only Madagascar on his side, but he's facing a full Madagascar five-man. So wonder how he feels. He's been pretty good against this team. So let's see how he does.
Yeah, a bit of an Uchiha situation happening here. But no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But a bit of an interesting factor to kind of take notice of. I did not actually know that, so that is good information to note. And to the viewers, I think you did mention it is a best of five. So if you're kind of surprised on why we're continuing, that is the cause, and this is the effect. Hopefully, you're still watching. Hopefully, you have your popcorn. Hopefully, you'll enjoy the games as much as we are. And as always, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification button, show your support for our ever growing server. But we are heading into that fourth,
Second,
right? We are
fourth game, fourth game.
heading into that fourth game.
We're starting now. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Seems as though we have a full live view. That is what we have. So, guys, make sure you comment in the comment section what you guys think of the two teams so far, and also comment who in both of these lineups you think you could personally replace. Like, if you think you're a better jungler than B Crown, hit it in the comment section. We want to know, and we want you to expose yourselves, basically. But we are heading into that fourth game. So, what are your thoughts, man? What are you expecting in this game? When the upcoming game?
I'm expecting more marksman target bans. I feel like it's been working for them. I feel like why would you change something that's working? So they target back the marksman on the side of Savage Reborn. It looks like it affects Savage Reborn a lot more than it affects Metagaskar in terms of banning. You're gonna ban the Lunox, but really realistically, when you think about it, Lunox is one of like, yeah, it's a situational ban, but they found joy in banning out the Popo and Cooper and banning out the Leslie. Like, you did well on Leslie, we're gonna ban the Leslie. So that's their strategy. They don't even care about the assassin picks anymore. But ever so standard Sicilian ban. Sicilian hasn't had a fun game in this matchup. He hasn't been able to showcase what he's working with.
I think I think both these two teams kind of know how these games kind of go in our server because they can go for a decent amount of time, an extended period of time. And somebody like a Sicilian thrives when it gets to that 18-minute, thrives when you get to that very, very late games where you can just absolutely one-shot everybody. So that is something to look out for. But the bans so far have been consistent. We have been saying we are seeing the Alpha ban, we are seeing the Lunox. What I am kind of hoping would happen is Metagaskar just leave the PNK for one game. Just
Ah,
leave it
no.
for one game. Leave it
Would
for
you
one
get?
game. Let's see. Let's
No,
see.
funny, Aaron.
Let's see what you can
Yesterday
do.
we
Uh-huh.
we Issa was playing. You know that he's playing tomorrow actually, but Issa was playing, and they did the same thing too. They banned Bruno. I would do the same thing too. So exactly, I would just ban it. So, but they actually ended up winning. So it's omnipotent in the semifinals tomorrow. So the winner here will be facing the winner of tomorrow's game on Sunday. So back into the action. So no Suyu,
Yeah, I
no
do
out.
like it when the
Yeah, there we go.
I was
There's
about to say I
fun.
do like it when these one trick
Mhm.
pseudo one trick plays, kind of play, kind of get banned out, kind of play these tournaments and get banned out, just to kind of see what else they can bring to the table. Because we're tired of seeing the same heroes in classic, tired of seeing the same heroes in like rank, but the high booster being picked up.
Okay, the score is
For
currently.
anybody wondering, oh, okay, go on.
Yeah, the score is 2-1. If Metagaskar manages to take the next W, they will be winning the game and going straight into the finals. But if B Crown's team, which is Savage Reborn, manages to take out another one, it will be 2-2, which means that we'll be going into another game, which is a game five. Everyone loves to see a game five, which means that both teams have showcased their best of their abilities. But again, I do like the what Metagaskar is doing with their picks. Do you see the Camilla there? Do you see it? Camilla does pretty decent against the chip, eh? Pretty decent against the chip. Because you just alt. As they all come, you just alt and then poof. They're stunned and you just your whole
Um,
team. That's what
Yeah, but
it
I
does
think with
work.
the extended thing, since they
Yeah.
extended chips like Ultimate, or maybe they made it close, I'm not sure. Kind of takes the your allies a bit of time before they can jump in. So maybe that will be that discrepancy. I think will
Mhm.
go either way. So if the Camilla times it right, GG's for them. If not, we might see something interesting. I was hoping as soon as I saw Badon be being sure, I was hoping, man. I was hoping because I'm tired of these like. Okay, not necessarily tired, but I just want to see now like very unique picks. I just want to see something random, something that nobody would think about going. So I just want to see those in tournament matches, man, just to kind of give us like a preview of what Mobile Legends has to offer in the full extent. And in terms of the draft, we are going to see the Harry Booster as well as the Carmela and that Aurora being picked up from the side of the Meta men, or the Metagaskar boys,
Yeah.
and to the side of Savage Reborn. They did pick out that Yuzong and as well as that chip, as you've mentioned, as well as the Joy. But what do you think about these bands, especially because I'm seeing a lot of marksmen being banned out, man.
Yeah, if
There's
you look at Metagaskar's bans, they actually it's what I would call not caring about the meta and focusing on what the actual game is about. So right now they're focusing on
Mhm.
banning out a specific player, which is Bionic. So right now Bionic is forced to pick those sort of unconventional picks like the Hanabi. This is very similar to the first game where they picked the Hanabi and the Joy, but they don't really care about those picks. They would rather not face a Melissa, not face a Popo, not face a
Oh,
Leslie. So they're doing a pretty good job of drafting out their picks, but it looks like they responded to the Hanabi pick with a sort of magic damage marksman. It worked well in the first game. They played the Lunox, which is banned, but this time around they're gonna be like, hey, we'll show you the extent of our hero pool, and I'll just pick up a Harriet.
yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a Herod, man. In particular like to go this hero a lot just to kind of spam it out, but it's been a while since we've seen one. I'm hoping it will be a good showing, man. I don't want I don't want one of my heroes you know to be seen as a bad hero, especially when it's the first game being played out here. But we are going to see that Faramis being picked out last. Um, okay. I'm not sure. I like the Faramis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the Faramis here, but it does seem like a good pick to me, kinda. What do you think, man? Am I?
In my biased opinion, I'm gonna go with the side of Metagaskar purely because I feel like with the chip, you need a lot more damage. Um, I mean, Pharmacy is pretty good to save them with the Camilla. Oh, so it's a pretty good response to the Camilla there and the Hayabusa. So it could work out, but they've picked up again a team fight comp, which is reliant on them having like a lot of grouping, which isn't something that they have been doing the last three games. The game that they did pretty well on was when the game where they had like a lot of pickup heroes, they had the Halos, they had like
I
a lot of
don't know about team fight. I think
chip
their
need,
composition is more of like
yeah.
pickoff. No,
I'm talking
I
about
think their
Savage as
composition is
well.
more of like pickoff.
Savage, I think it's a team fight comp.
No, because
Was the
it's
farmers
with
being
the
cheaper
chip,
there?
if you're already there, you if like your teammates already there, you press the alt,
Hmm?
nothing's really gonna happen. You know what I mean? Everybody's already there. There's no effect other than that minimal stun. Whereas like
Hmm?
Oh wait, no, I am confusing the teams. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not. Larry NB is with Larry NB is with Metagaskar, so I'm not confusing the teams. But yeah, I just think the Hayabusa, Camilla, as well as the Aurora, it is more
Mhm.
team fight ish. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
I was talking about Mickey's team. I was talking about how they need to be constantly together. So when they pick these sort of
Oh,
drafts, they haven't been playing the best when they need to be constantly together. But when the game with the Halos, they didn't necessarily need to be there. So they did pretty well in that game. So in this one again, they rely on each other's synergy, and that didn't necessarily work in their favor in the last game. So that's why I said I favor more Metagaskar's pick here because they don't necessarily need to be always with each other. But you never know. This is how it works in the land of dawn. Another kill coming in. Golden gang.
yeah, but that age is just coming into clutch. But that Hanabi does really do a decent job whenever two enemies are kind of like clunked up together, and it seems as though Diddy might go down. I think that's more of a punishment for his crimes against humanity, but we never know. But right now, we are going to see the Shadow Enigma kind of go in those, planting those shadows. But unfortunately for him, he can't really commit because of the number of people there. But Joy in a 1v1, I don't know if you want to take this, big man.
Joy has enough damage. He might be able to do something. Go straight to the backline, but unfortunately, you'll be forced to recoil. The next turtle is coming up in the next 4 seconds. Flickering
Oh,
units on the side. Very, very good kill and putting them in a very good position to take down the next turtle. But it
yep,
doesn't look like
in a very
Habitas
good.
in hurry. He's strolling towards it. He's like, yeah, I'll get there at some point. Manages to get down the
Oh,
farmers. Farmers go straight
man,
again.
this is
Stun coming in from the
this.
chip. Chip is very, very low. Unfortunately, he goes down. Hanabi is, for some reason, Hanabi is in the mid lane turret, giving so much gold to the side of Harrod. Harrod able to get down so much of the gold plating there. So I'm not so sure about the Hanabi's play, but Hanabi is back into his lane. Joy is going to be the first jungler at the turtle. Hayabusa is going to look to probably take his blue buff, but Joy also is going to be taking his red buff. So no one particularly in a rush to take down the Lord. I mean, not the Lord rather, because the Lord is going to be coming out in the later game. But the turtle is going to be going on the side of. It looks like Savage Reborn, unless Hayabusa has something to say about it. And it looks like actually he's going to be like, hey, I'll be here for this next turtle fight.
Yeah, I was about to say neither team have set up really to take down this total, but
Okay.
it seems as though the chip uses this ultimate to kind of call on to the cavalry, and the cavalry does arrive indeed. Decent amount of people are there, but it seems as though that Dark Thoughts, rather, it seems the Dark Thoughts will get a kill onto Shiro, so that is a 2-for-nothing trade towards the side of Savage Reborn. Um, excuse me, I think you're kind of right. It kind of shows my game knowledge is it's kind of lacking a bit here. It seems as though Savage Reborn have the utilities to kind of win out in these team fights, as we have seen in that skirmish day. But I'm kind of interested in seeing like the items so far that both these two teams have kind of gone for, especially when you have like your first items. Seems as though Hanabi is going to go for that corrosion side. He does have the crossbow right now, and it seems, oh my days. Hayabusa does manage to get the kill. I don't think he used the ultimate. I could be mistaken, but in the meantime, two people go down, as well as um, yo, this thing is kind of slow. As well as B Crown does go down. But right now, we are going to see that Harith use his ultimate just to kind of dance around the battlefield in the meantime. But he is caught in a very bad position, is taken down, and that Joy is just being a menace right now. But Joe comes into clutch with a way of dragon that just shuts down the Joy's momentum.
Yeah, did you see how Troll got there? Troll got there with Chip's help. So he just saw Porter and hopped into it. So he was able to go straight into the gold lane turret where all the action was happening. Right now, pretty good team fight coming in from both teams. At the moment, it looked like Savipur has a lot of team fight potential. Hanabi is caught alone here. Will he be able to escape is a real quick question. It is Hanabi versus the Camilla. Chip says I have something to say about that, but unfortunately, he won't be able to get kill. So neither team has lost a member in terms of gold lane right now. But the next turtle is up, and both junglers are looking to contest that. I do like what the Cho pick here because you have the ability to actually make set potentials alone. But Hayabusa is there. He has Sky Piercer picked up, but unfortunately the Camilla connects with the ult. But unfortunately the pharmacist has used his ult here. canceling or sort of all of that happening. But Hayabusa might be able to escape. He does escape. Chip is going straight to the backline, but he's already used his ult. But the Joy manages to take a kill, and they'll be able to take down the next turtle over here. But just the zoning coming from Yuzong is just checking what's in the bush. But right now, pretty good response coming in from Savage Reborn.
Yeah, very, very good response, man. A very good response. I am kind of interested in knowing like which team is kind of favored in terms of like the late game, the later this game goes, because I could see both going either way. You know, the Hayabusa very, very dangerous, very, very effective in the late game. Can just absolutely shut down anyone in a moment's notice. So that will be something to look out for. Especially seeing that the Hayabusa has not been shut down whatsoever. You know, 3 kills is a lot on an assassin, man. It feels like 10. Right now, we are going to see Larry MB got in a very bad position. Is forced to use that vengeance to kind of escape. That cost of blood being brought down by the Carmilla does manage to get 4 members, but it is rendered ineffective by Feramis's ult. Hayabusa does try to go in, but unfortunately for him, is chased out. So the benefit to that, or rather the victory of that team fight, does go towards the side of Savage Reborn. But I think Hayabusa is looking for something here. He still does have the ult and might get the kill as well. And he does a shutdown for Hayabusa on this Hanabi Bionic. He's very, both these marksmen are very aggressive, man. I don't know if you've noticed.
Definitely. Right now, what's going to happen is both teams have even amount of kills. Only one turret coming in from the side of Savage Reborn. It looks like an engage is coming in from the side of Yuzong here, straight into the backline. Mickey saving his ult, which he probably does not have. What am I saying? Joy straight into the backline again. Managed to take down the blue buff off the jungler of. How do you pronounce his name? We should ask him when he's done with this game how to pronounce it. I went with Zlang. What are you going with? Zlang? Zlang? Xlang?
I'm going with Land, bruv. I'm ignoring the X, but I think Waylander kind of said it to me. I just have a very, I'm like Dory, man. I suffer from short-term memory loss, so it's a thing.
I'll open up the chat here for there's some Metagaskars in the chat. They'll probably tell us how to pronounce his name. Anyways, yeah, he did pretty good on the Gusion. So right now the next turtle looks like it's gonna go in their favor unless Joy looks to do something about it. His retribution is slightly higher.
Oh.
And again, he just responded to getting it. The Larry NB's Roma did not exactly zone out the Joy. Ult has been used here by the Chip. Will anyone actually respond by going in? Very good out from the Camilla, managing to get 4 members on the side of Savage Reborn because the farmer's ult had already been used here. Straight into the backline, Yuzong goes, would he be able to get the kill? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he will be able to go in, but he's been frozen by the Aurora. Unfortunately, he's unable. He actually manages to get another kill, but he might pay for it with his life. And it looks like it is a 2-for-1 trade on the side of, unless they have something. Another kill is coming in from the Joy. Joy actually falls down from Larry and B, and they respond with another kill coming in from the farmers. I was very worried about the farmers' damage, but he's doing a pretty good job of doing something. Yeah, farmers, I just looked at it as a healer. That's what I want to impact. Maybe it's my ranked farmers teammates that are making me biased against Charlie's farmers here.
Yeah, no, Faramis does deal a lot of them. It does go under the radar because it's not, heavy and in your face. But if you have minions near you, if you have your allied, if you have your companions, I don't know I don't know what to call them, but if you have your friends with you, it can kind of stack up. So that will be something to look out for, especially in the early game when he picks up these items. But for now, it kind of seems one-sided. But Larry MB does go in for the kill. Fortunately, he does get zoned out, but unfortunately, his jungler has to pay the cost for trying to save him. I think that was a shutdown. I'm not necessarily sure who it went to.
Shutdown to that the Hayabusa died, so shutdown gold.
Yeah, but to who is that? I was trying to confuse who got the kill, basically. But we did see a Frigid Asia being used up there, so they won't have it for this invade that Joy and Yuzong are trying to initiate right now. But oh my days, a pickup from Ares, but is taken down for his efforts. His ultimate, you see, this is what I was talking about. I guess it is somewhat effective, but what do you do when you're already there and Chip, uses his ultimate? What happens then? You know, like you're already there.
No, but They did make
Very
this chips
near.
also slightly a bit useful because it's got the stun, so you can stun the enemy, which is something that you usually didn't do. So it's not too useless, but it looks like Shiro's gonna try to steal the Lord with the rollout. It can
I'm
work
kind of
if you
surprised
flick
that
it.
they're not setting themselves up here. This is a Lord and it can really turn the tides of the game. But fortunately for them, they do manage to get the Lord, and Hayabusa did not manage to kind of steal it. So for me, that was kind of a concern. It's like, why would you go heavy on the Lord but not securing those bushes? But fortunately for them, it did not matter at the end of the day. Um, I think Savage Reborners are very near, are very close to kind of clinching this out. I'm kind of sad that the Herith didn't work out. I'm kind of sad that it didn't work out, but we are seeing, the Savage Reborners kind of tactic kind of play out, and hopefully we might even see a game 5.
Definitely. Looks like there is going to be a team fight. Camilla lands the ult on no one. Straight into the backline they go, but Hanabi is. No, they won't be able to get the ult. The Farmers doesn't have his ult, but he used it a bit earlier. But right now, it looks like they will be able to defend the Lord here. Won't be able to take down anyone. And Savage Reborn unable to get a single tower from that Lord. But Savage Reborn will be rejoicing in that exchange because they managed to take down the Lord. But it looks like it's not going to be a fun game for Camilla. Is it just the cursed hero?
I don't necessarily think it's playing that bad. It's just that the conditions for it kind of needs teams to kind of stack up. And when you have a very open game, you don't necessarily have it's kind of like take. If you don't make those 5, 6, if you don't make those 4, 5 sets, it really doesn't really look like a good pick that much. But it thrives in team fights, and unfortunately, it did not happen. But right now, we are going to see Larry MB commit that ultimate. I think the cooldown is like 16 seconds, give or take. So you
Yeah.
can kind of spam that out, and with little to no consequence. But it seems as though Hayabusa is being zoned out of his own purple, man. This is tough days.
It's one of those games where you have a higher booster, but unfortunately, you're not going to be able to burst down anyone because of that Farmer's ult. Conceal use on the side of the Camilla, you'll be forced to go back to the base, but no buffs for the higher booster. Unfortunately, he's not able to. You're going to be able to farm. You're not able to get to the backline because of the chip and the Farmers here. So again, might just what I'm going to do in the polls for M6. I'm going to pick the wrong team. So I'm supporting SRG. So I don't know. I'm just going to decide which team to vote for. And then whatever team I decide, I'm going to choose the opposite because it's definitely not going the way I predicted it.
You never know, man. Maybe Marco and the rest of them, maybe they have a bigger curse than us, but that remains to be seen. But for now, it seems as though Savage Reborn have the control of the game. I am kind of sad, or rather not sad. I'm kind of disappointed that they're not utilizing the map really, really well. The minions are not really pushing all that great. You need them to be synchronized, and unfortunately, they're not. Especially when the enemy team has somebody like an Aurora who can just clear out the waves in a matter of an instant. It kind of feels as though um you're wasting that. You could just leave the minions in the mid to kind of starve out your enemies, force them to come out, force them to be a bit more aggressive so they can get a bit of farm. But unfortunately, that is not something that we are seeing. But we are seeing that for Ramis all being committed here. That it will be a very that will be something to take notice of. The Curse of Blood being used up as well as that Frigid Leisure. They do manage to take down Mickey, but he did buy enough time for them to take down the Lord. And in the meantime, Cho uses the Way of the Dragon onto Bionic, does manage to get the kill, and is escaping despite him just targeting their backlines. But in the meantime, Larry and B doing absolute work on Savage Reborners at the moment. But Dark Thoughts got in a very bad position. He is having Dark Thoughts at the moment, trying to come up with something, but unfortunately, nothing works out. I think that kind of goes to show how important the Faramis is in the team fight. I was criticizing it, but Faramis ult is very, very important. Seems as though it was the main reason why they were able to win out most of those team fights, to be able to survive most of those team fights. And without that ultimate, it turns out this is the response. 4 kills against to nothing, and to clear out the load for free, giving Metagaskar a lot of gold. So yeah, man, I think Metagaskar won that.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that Savage Reborn, they won the Lord fight. So in that instance, they should have easily disengaged. You know what I saw? I saw the Hanabi going to Chips Portal, try to get a bit more kills instead of just disengaging. And that unfortunately, I think that was the second Lord that actually didn't do anything. So they're winning a lot of these Lord fights. Unfortunately, it's not working out for them. I don't even think the Hayabusa. Oh, they do look to be setting up. Does the chip know that? The chip doesn't know that. He's busy chasing the Hayabusa, but it looks like four
But it's the
members
chip.
on the
You can
side of
call,
Savage Reborn here. It might
you
actually
can call
fall.
the cavalry. You can call the cavalry, and here's the cavalry and a play around. But that curse of blood being used up, oh my days! That was a perfect curse of blood, turning the tides. It's just back and forth, and it seems as though Dark Thoughts will use that Black Dragon form, trying to escape. But I think he's putting his team in a very bad position, because Larry NB is looking for blood. But his greed might cost him his life here. But he's dancing around, gets a killing spree, and despite what I thought, he does manage to survive. So that's Larry and B coming up with the goods and coming up with a wonderful play. Um, yeah, man, that is absolutely wonderfully played from the Camilla. I think we mentioned this during the draft. If that Camilla can place her ultimate perfectly, just when these guys are about to turn up, I think it will be absolutely insane.
Definitely. I think right now what both teams are evenly. Actually, in terms of turrets, I think Savage Reborn has done a pretty good job there. Turrets and Lords. Those are the things that they're winning. Team fights, not so much. But at the end of the game, what wins games? What wins games? I think Turret wins games. So right now they need to focus on actually, keeping the pressure on the map here. I think focus less on those team fights. You're not winning the team fights. I feel like the Camilla just basically cancels everything they're trying to do. Right now, keep the pressure on the map, win a lot of those load fights, and then disengage. That's exactly what they need to do, especially with the next load that's coming up here. They should try not to try to kill them off here. Yuzong is going in. He's going to try to zone them out, but unfortunately, it might be a bit too early. The load isn't up. The chip has managed to use his ult, but the Camilla is going to respond with something. Who's died? Chip is fallen down. Farmer's ult has been used. Camilla's going to be straight into the backline, but unfortunately, Didi actually also dies here. Straight into the backline, Hayabusa goes. So many kills here. Who actually won that? 3 kills on the side of Metagaskar, turning that game around. Again, it was those team fights that we were talking about. Joy is actually looking to do something here.
But they don't know. They don't know.
Oh, Retribution!
Oh my!
Out of the Joy. Crown B manages to save his team, keeping that team fight in there. Savage Reborn. They could have landed the Retribution, but unfortunately, no one actually checked the bushes. So again, he's still in the game. But what Metagaskar is going to do is respond by taking at least the turret, making sure that there is something at least going on there. But it looks like Chip might be in time. Yeah, it might be in time. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, it seems though that Black Dragon form being used up, they are trying to hunt down Sheer, trying to get a kill off, but he does have the passive, so that will be something to look out for. Oh my days, Sheer with the basketball plays, breaking ankles left, right, and center. It seems as though Dark Thoughts will go down for his efforts, but the cavalry has arrived. It'll be interesting to see how this team fight plays out. The Curse of Blood being brought down, but it catches nobody. But Pagani being absolutely torn apart by Larry MB. Larry MB with double kill at the moment. I forgot the name of this ultimate, man. It just eludes me every time. But it seems as though Dark Thoughts and Mickey will retreat. Thanks to the slow. Thanks to the
But it's not
slow.
too hectic. Look at the base. The base, they actually managed to take down the turret. Although no one actually pushed it directly, they managed to take.
He's on. Going back in.
Why is he going in? There's no team. There's no team. He's actually going to fall down. Actually, no. He actually manages to turn that around, going in, taking down the Hayabusa. He's going straight for the Camilla. We'll be able to get the kill. Let's take down the kill. But unfortunately, the Camilla, he just takes him down. But pretty good plays coming in from the Yuzong. Dog Force he's doing pretty good plays here. He's doing, just like he dominated in the XP in the last game, he's doing a pretty good job of zoning them away here and actually putting his team back into the game. So I think right now, Savage Reborn's Dark Thoughts and the Joy are doing a pretty good job of keeping their team in this game. I think they're doing very, very exciting plays. And, the Lord still... And
now here's a question. Now here's something like food for thought. Every ban section we've had up to now, they've been banning out the Sicilian. We're 20 seconds away from reaching the 20-minute mark. That kind of tells you why it is banned out, man. That kind of tells you why.
None of the games were 10 minutes. Oh, they're going straight to... the Lord is coming up here. The Cho is going to be trying to push down the XP lane here, or rather that lane. Hayabusa straight into the backline. Farmers does still have ult. Will he be able to use it in time? He does. Manage to save down his teammates. Hayabusa he's forced to recoil here. Camilla's going to go in, but unfortunately no one is there to capitalize on those ults. It's not like TIG where you can stun people. You can link them. They'll be like, oh, something has linked us, but if there's no one to take on the damage, Not much goes on right now. So right now, Cho is there looking for a pickoff. He's actually been doing a pretty good job of picking up the farmers, but he would be able to do that this time. Unfortunately, not. The Lord is up. In terms of
Yep,
statistics,
Lord.
the Lord has just been
Hmm?
going on the side of literally got all Lords and all Turtles. Those are the stats. So all three Turtles and all three Lords have been going on the side of Savage Reborn. But it's those fights. Those fights is the way they usually just, don't go so well. Like the chip goes straight to the backline. I'm not so sure why there. There's no need to be engaging, but he does manage to zone them away. Chip has gone down. Farmers goes straight. He's trying to help down his teammates here, but unfortunately, the Lord is still under attack. They went straight into the Camilla's trap here. Camilla's managed to take out so many people. Oh, unfortunately, the double coming in from the side of. So right now it's Hanabi. Hanabi doesn't have Wind of Nature. Right now he's going to try to survive, but unfortunately he goes down. Again, those team fights is where it's at. So they do manage to win the fourth Lord of the game. But unfortunately, they don't
Yeah,
have
and the
anyone.
wave management. And also the wave manage. I know four of them actually were taken down, but because of that, I don't necessarily think that Metagaskar can utilize it
They're
to
planning it.
its
What's
full
your plan?
advantage.
What's he going to do? What's
I
Big
think he
Crown
has
going
to
to do?
clear it. I thought he was going to clear it,
Uh,
man. You just suicide attempt tried to clear, but it seems as though
I'm not
he
sure.
opted against it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he is taken down. This does give Metagaskar the opportunity to kind of barrel down on this torrent, but I don't think the minions are enough. I
Nope.
don't think the minions
They
are
see the
enough.
Lord.
They did leave the Aurora to fend off the Lord, but fortunately, she can buy enough time for the rest of the gang to kind of pull up. So that is. Yeah, that is kind of like a saving grace for.
The Lord chasing down the Lord is chasing down the Aurora. So again, Savage Reborn still in the game because of that Lord, but team fights, look at the kill difference, go. 34 kills to 19. So that tells you Metagaskar is winning all the team fights, but in terms of the Lords and the turrets, it's actually a bit more even in terms of turrets bound, but Savage Reborn definitely what they need to do is get the Lord and then don't fight. Go back and then wait for the Lord. That's literally what's happening right now. So yeah, I would have to see how I feel like the next Lord is going to be the determining one. It's going to be a very strong Lord. Both teams, if you die, it's like 1 minute. So I don't think anyone's going to. They should probably play a bit more safer. I would love to see a lot more immortalities. Right now, Hanabi and Camilla are the only people with immortality. Joy has just picked it up. So right now, let's see how the game goes.
Yeah, man. Right now, if you die, you might as well just log off and come here and cast with us because that's how long the wait times are. But yeah, I think you've mentioned a lot. I'm just kind of surprised at the Hanabi, man. You know, the Hanabi isn't normally a very good pick because of that early game, but when it, crosses into the late game, you kind of see her advantage kind of show up. You kind of see her usefulness kind of show up, and I'm kind of surprised how. I'm not saying Bionic is not useful, but I don't think he's utilizing this hero to the best of his ability. Something else I'm also noticing is Shira's having you know, he's having a spa day basically, because even when the Yuzong has kind of maneuvered around and he is targeting the backline, I did see him in that team fight. He kind of leaves Shiro alone. So the Aurora is having a really good time at the moment. Is being left alone, not being engaged onto, and I don't know if that's a very good decision. But the chip being engaged onto right now, he does manage to drop that ultimate, but it was taken care of. I think they were cautious this time. They didn't just want to jump in
Yeah,
and get killed off.
you go
they,
jumping and then come in
they
against
were like,
everyone.
okay,
So,
let's wait.
but it looks
They
like
were like,
another.
oh,
It's
okay, let's wait.
going to be another Lord trade. But this time around, it looks like, Metagaskar doesn't look to be doing this. Camilla links 4 people. Will he be able to get the kill? Diddy is actually very, very low. Will he be able to get the kill? Hayabusa has used this all. A Lord goes to the side of Aurora here. Metagaskar finally gets their first Lord of the game. Very, very low is the Hayabusa. But will they be making the same mistake that Savage Reborn has been making? Unfortunately not. Cho is in the straight into the backline. It's Hanabi versus the world. Freeze has been used by the Cho. Will be able to get it's just Hanabi who's alive. Cheap as it looks like. It might be GG well played on the side of Metagaskar unless Hanabi pulls out something. But unfortunately not. The only Lord that they got in this game is Metagaskar. It's the one that actually Lord is not even needed. Minions end of the game. So GG well played on the side of Metagaskar. Taking the games 3-1. Savage Reborn put up a very, very good fight. They got 3 Lords, 3 Turtles, but unfortunately, those are not what wins the games. It's actually Minions that win the games. So Minions did well. See, guys, I told you about the farmers. Farmers, it works well, but they needed a lot more damage for the chip. But yeah, pretty good game from both teams. Was very, very fun casting. What do you think? What are your thoughts, Ari, before we hand it over to
Yeah,
Wayland again?
I don't know I don't know if the Faramis is to blame for this one. Of course, it could have been played a lot better, but I just think a lot of the credit has to be given where it is due. That is Diddy. You know, other other than spending
He's
time
gonna
with
get
McNeil, he does know how to make a set. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Yeah, I'm going to make those jokes until maybe they do a sub or I do not. Wait, does Metagaskar won 3 games now?
Yeah, 3-1.
Is this the end of the
It's over.
series?
That's all I was saying. It's over. Yeah, it's 3-1.
You. I'm kind of lost. I'm thinking, okay, we have another game. Okay.
No, 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 no.
Um,
It was so far that you wanted more, but unfortunately that was the last game. So GG well played.
so it had to be a best of 7. It should have been a best of 7.
Definitely.
L production, L production basically. But yeah, my my 2 cents on that game. Um, it was a very good game, man. It was a very good game, back and forth. It kind of deserved that finale type of feeling to it, and it did deliver across multiple avenues in that regard. And shout out to Larry and B, man. I was kind of criticizing him a lot because I do kind of play Hearth, and he wasn't necessarily playing well in the early game, but he managed to turn it around. He was absolutely phenomenal. Unkillable, basically, in that late game, and he is deserving of that MVP. I am kind of surprised that the Hayabusa was not as effective as I know it to be. You know, those strings were not stringing, but maybe that is for another day. He was very good on the Gushin, so maybe this was just like a flex to show that he can, or rather, he does have that in his arsenal. So
Yeah,
wonderfully played game for Metagaskar. Congratulations, and I think you said they're on to the final. No,
on to the finals. So they'll be facing the winner of Omnipotent versus Reverse Push. So tomorrow is going to be another game of marksman banning. Will be very, very fun to see. It was fun casting. We are going to be handing it over to Wayland Gaming, which is probably Sean and just Wayland himself. But no, very, very fun. Thank you guys for having us. This is me and Irie. Depends on what you
yeah,
want to
this is
call
me.
it that day. Yeah. Again, my thoughts on the game. Both teams did pretty well, but again, the last vote was the one that won it. And you know, neither team did pretty bad. Both teams did pretty well, and it shows certainly how they made it so far into the semifinals. So, best of 5, deserving game definitely. So I'll see you guys all.
Definitely, man. So yeah, as he's mentioned, we are going to hand it over to Waylander, and this is your Chocolate Superman logging off. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for being with us, and hopefully you can enjoy the rest of your night. For some of you who are night owls, be safe, drink safely. For those of you at home, that left hand should stop working right now and put those
Okay, let's
tissues
go.
away. And put those
Okay,
tissues
let's
away.
go.
But for now, let me hand it over to Waylander. Waylander, what do you think about the series, man?
Yeah, it's been really, really fun. But a big shout out to both of you. I enjoyed listening to the two of you tonight. It was wonderful. The back and front, the banter, the shot calling. It was lovely to have both of you on stream. Hopefully you'll be doing it again. Maybe we'll drag you guys in for the grand finals. Huh? What do you think? Best of 7. Do you got the energy?
Why? At least now the viewers know which hand Ari uses when he goes to the chocolate Superman side.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure somebody will clip that. So,
Definitely, yeah.
yeah, that somebody will be Sean, and then we'll share it everywhere.
Alright, yeah. Otherwise, GG's from my side. It was fun casting. I still want people to know that I casted an entire game alone. Like I was speaking for 30 minutes straight, and no one was there. Anyways, it was fun though. Thank you guys for having us.
No problem. No problem. Cheers, bro. All right. So for those of you still around in the live chat, it was wonderful having all of you watching the game with us as per usual. If you were interested to know why the switch up with casters, well, we do have between all the organizations, King of the Hill, MSA, Waylander Gaming, there's quite a lot of casters, lots of people with talent working in the background, quietly, and so it's time to bring those people in the background. As you can see, the talent that's here, both Irie and Nigel doing an excellent job tonight. I was highly entertained. I don't know about you guys, but I really did enjoy the knowledge that they brought out, and the shot calling and everything else. So we'll see. Maybe we can get even more people involved, Skarpskanko.
Yeah, definitely. So, viewers, this will be the last time for tonight. Please place that like, share, and subscribe button. And give the casters of tonight a bit of love. And give us love too. We always love it.
Yeah, thank you for watching. A big congratulations to Metagaskar, but well played to Savage Reborn. This was, although it was done in 4 games, it was intense. I was sitting literally, not a figure of speech, literally at the edge of my seat throughout that entire 4 matches. It could have went either which way in any of the games. I mean, there was so much of back and front. It was actually a semi-final worthy of a final, to be honest. But that's enough said from my side. I'm sure everybody, it's about 10 at this moment in time. People have got the beds calling. It's the pillow all nice and cold. The bed's all nice and toasty. I can see Karina in the chat saying it was fun watching. Well, we have to actually give Karina a shout out for all the drama that Nightbot gives her during the course of the live streams. I don't know. Maybe Karina broke Nightbot's heart at some point in time. And there's this grudge match going on there. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do some further investigation to find out what is going on there. But from myself, Waylander, and Skarpskanko, it's gonna be goodbye and good night. We will see all of you 9 p.m. tomorrow. Mind you, the game starts in a little bit late, and if you want to blame anybody, you blame Omnipotence and Reverse Push, because they seem to think that we all love to stay awake very late. Well, some of us do, some of us are night owls. But thank you all for watching. Once again, it's going to be goodbye and good night.